Content advisory. This episode contains discussion of cult dynamics, religious extremism, child abuse, death, strong language, and disturbing themes. Listener discretion is advised. This content is for entertainment purposes only. Any true crime information discussed is publicly available online. Welcome back to Harlots of Spooktalk. Your beautiful dark souls. Sorry. Oh, tonight we are diving into the unsettling world of Gwen Shamblin, a woman who built an empire on faith, fear, and control. From her rise as a Christian diet guru to the powerful leader of the Remnant Fellowship Church, Gwen's teachings promised weight loss and salvation, but behind the polished imagination and towering blonde hair was something far more disturbing. Wow. Tonight I'll be talking about the crimes connected to this ministry, the allegations, the abuse cases, and the tragic deaths that shook the nation.
That's right, Tiffany. Before the headlines and the investigations, Gwen Shamblin Lara was a household name in Christian weight loss circles. She founded the Weight Down Workshop in the 1980s, blended scripture with dieting principles, and eventually established the Remnant Fellowship Church in Brentwood, Tennessee. Now, her message was simple but strict. Obedience to God meant obedience in every aspect of life, including food, marriage, parenting, and submission. Tonight, I'll break down her background, how she built her following, how the ministry evolved into something far more insular, and how control became central to her teachings.
And that's where things turn dark. Behind closed doors, former members described a culture of fear, extreme discipline, public shaming, and harsh punishments for the children. Allegations of cruelty surfaced over the years with claims that obedience was enforced through emotional and physical suffering. Was this devotion or domination? Tonight, we're talking about the cruelty that allegedly thrived within this church, the suffering and the lasting trauma many former members say they endured.
So, light a candle or maybe keep the lights on for this one because this story is as as it is unbelievable.
Welcome to Harlots of Spooktalk.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you dare.
Oh, you think you got away?
Okay, so Gwen Shamblin was born February 18th, 1955 in Memphis, Tennessee, and was
Oh,
raised...
that was yesterday. Sorry.
What?
February 18th was yesterday.
Oh, that's when
It
we
was
were
her
recording.
Her
birthday.
birthday.
Her birthday. Happy birthday, biatch. Y'all were thinking it.
That was yesterday. Today's the 19th, but I had a
But this is the day that we're recording. They won't see this until like the 26th, I think.
Yeah.
So
now you
Have-
just like, okay, shut up.
So she was born, Gwen Shamblin was born on February 18th, 1955 in Memphis, Tennessee, and was raised in a Church of Christ household. The Churches of Christ are part of the Restoration movement and are generally known for strict adherence to the Bible, conservative theology, emphasis on obedience and personal responsibility, and
But she had none.
right. And this also had the capella worship. That means like there's no musical instruments. So you remember, if y'all, I don't know, I grew up in this kind of church where you just kind of like open your Bible and you sing. There's not really, yeah. So her upbringing in this religious tradition appears to have shaped her focus on obedience, submission, and literal biblical interpretation. Now, let's talk about her family a little bit. So, public records and interviews suggest that she was raised in a stable, middle class Southern family, hence
Hello.
Tennessee. Oh my God, I'm having deja vu. Oh God. Um, however,
You're the
did,
only 10 I see. I'm sorry, I had to.
girl,
Ooh.
girl. So details accounts of her family's personalities or home dynamics are limited to public available sources. What is known, religion played in a central role in the household. Church attendance and biblical study were very important, and she reported internalized strong ideas about discipline and self control from a young age. So there was no widely documented claims of abuse or instability in her childhood, unlike some high control religious leaders who described traumatic beginnings. So Gwen's background appears comparatively conventional and structured, right? So we're just painting a picture here. So, um, in her early life, there was accounts that were said in like interviews and promotions material during her way down years. Gwen describes struggling with weight concerns and body image during her youth, something that would later become central to her teachings. She often framed her breakthrough around food as a spiritual awakening. The hunger cues were God designs, and that were overeating, reflection, misplaced devotions. Her early education in nutrition at the University of Tennessee aligned with this belief system. So, blending professional dietetics with religion doctrine, if that makes sense. So, the key takeaways here are she was raised in a conservative Christian environment. She emphasis on obedience, discipline, and biblical authority, no public documentation of major childhood trauma, and religious blah 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 blah. So religious identity deeply embedded from the youth. So her childless seemed defined by scandal and more by religious structure, something that later became amplified in her leadership style. So that's kind of her background.
Jeez Louise.
I'm going to talk quickly about the Way Down workshop, where she kind of developed a faith led this workshop weight loss program. She was also earning her master's degree at the same time as this workshop began in 1986. She counseled that genetics and behavioral modification would help you not only come closer to God, but be better for the body and how to slim down. Now, the problem with this food restrictive diet, a lot of people became very ill, like looked ill and were like malnourished. Like it was bad.
So
People,
it's like a cleanse, though. She's saying, like, you
yeah,
gotta
don't eat.
cleanse your
Well,
body.
Which is so crazy because if I can say something real quick, like generally when you're
Okay,
reading
you're
the
done.
Bible,
You said real quick, so.
oh, well, like when you're
Okay, continue.
fasting, a lot of things like religiously or spiritually, you always do a fast, but I feel like
yeah,
she
she
may have
took,
taken it to a different level. You know what I mean? Like they were saying that
She put
she,
her own spin on it.
she
right.
Yeah.
And then it
now
was like, they said it was like 30 days at a time.
she did a 12-week seminar
Holy moly.
guided by video and audio tapes. Now, 250,000 people invested in this program. 21,000 classes were worldwide through Europe, Canada, and the US. So this was a pretty big program back in the 80s, 90s, which a lot of, we don't remember, you had the grapefruit diet. You had all these diets
Mm-hmm.
coming on the scene.
Yeah, I remember that. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hers was just a little different because she actually did food restrictions.
Yeah.
She basically said you should know when to fill your body should know. And the closer you are with God, the more you will know this too. So she took the multi-million dollar diet industry and put it in with the multi-billion dollar church. I hate to say it, no come from me, but church industry. And she mixed
Yeah.
them together to make what's known as the Way Down workshop. But that's pretty much it. It had 40 people in 1996 working for him. She did books, she did tours, she had conventions in Nashville called Desert Oasis. By August 1998, like I said, she had 200. Think about that number, 250,000 people subscribing to her way of diet.
Wow.
So she,
Well,
yeah,
and I kind of like see where she's coming from with doing what she did, is because that is a smart business move, to be honest.
it
So,
is.
Right.
and look how she grew it like that fast. So she knew what she was doing, like I think business wise. She had like business smarts.
She just took it a little off script, which we're about to talk
Yeah.
about with Tiffany with that part.
Okay, so I will be talking about the associations with corporal punishment. So it can kind of be, yeah. Shamblin has been accused of prompting corporal punishment, sorry. And she and other Remnant Fellowship members paid for the legal defense of adherent of Joseph and Sonia Smith, who were ultimately convicted of stuff and murder of their 8-year-old son. Yeah, that's sad.
What
Anyways,
the hell? Okay, go on.
yeah. On October 8th, 2003, the Smiths punished Joseph by placing him in a small wicker box with electrical cords wrapped around the outside, holding the lid closed. They then watched an online service from the Remnant Fellowship, after which they opened the box and found him
Oh my
unalived.
God, I didn't even know. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't watch that part. I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I know. County medical examiners concluded that the child unalived as a result of acute and chronic abuse. Um, the Smiths routinely beat him with foot-long glue sticks, belts, and heated coat hangers. Police reported that the couple locked Joseph in his room for days or weeks, providing a bucket, for him and a picture of Jesus on the ceiling for him to pray to. Another child in the family, unalived 11 weeks before Joseph's Joseph went, with the cause was reportedly various as pneumonia or SIDS. So
Yeah,
11
Or
weeks
both.
prior, before, is when
his brother.
he had a sibling, and it's like you never learn that until that part. And I was like, these people
Yeah.
are sick. I'm not sorry to say that, but they
No.
No.
are.
No.
So during the investigation, authorities conducted a raid of Remnant Fellowship due to its teachings on child discipline. Church members created a website to advocate the Smiths' innocence, suggesting Joseph died of a bacterial infection and that his own skin marks came from scratching his eczema. So this became the Georgia versus Smith, resulted in the Smiths' conviction in February of 2007, and they were sentenced to life plus 30 years in prison on March 27th, 2007. That's the maximum punishment. A member of the church expressed a desire to support the Smiths in any way possible. The Supreme Court of Georgia upheld the convictions in 2010, and then in the Supreme Court, so get this, and then Supreme Court of the United States denied the case in 2011.
What?
Yeah, they denied to reopen it.
Yeah.
They upheld
So,
the conviction.
like, yeah, they didn't want to reopen the case where other people from the church and stuff wanted it to be reopened, saying that the Smiths were innocent when they
Oh, I
weren't.
see.
You
I
know,
see.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
And it was other children, remember, that came forward, and even babysitters saying that they were told to use glue sticks in the church to hit the children as punishment.
Oh
People
my
came forward
gosh.
with that one.
yeah, see, that's just wrong. I'm
It
sorry.
is.
I get it, but like, you don't teach that to
No,
anybody.
No.
nobody deserves to be hit with anything.
No, especially kids, of all things. I'm
Yes.
sorry. There are some people I want to throw rocks at, but you
They're
know.
adults.
Yeah, they're adults, not kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible. Like, that case really put a light on this church.
And
Yeah.
it did. And I'm not trying to say like anything negative and bad towards it. So I'm just explaining as like what
The
occurred while
facts.
she,
Yeah,
yeah, like what she, what happened pretty much while she
Yeah.
was still in charge.
and they have tapes of her giving the Smiths, and she said it wasn't her, but
Mm-hmm.
they have tapes of her stating how to do this punishment
Yeah, it
to
was
this child.
crazy.
It was.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I don't understand that whole part. Like, where's your thought process in
And
doing
why did,
disciplining like this?
and all the members followed behind her on this. Like, where was one person to stand up and say this ain't right out of
I
all
don't
these
know.
people?
I
You
don't
would
know.
think like some of those babysitters are be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Well, the one did.
Well, you know, and you got to also think of like they're probably thinking, well, what's going to happen to me if I come forward? You know, like if they
What are
had,
they gonna do? Starve you to death?
Well, they
Like,
were already
well,
starving.
right, exactly.
but you never know. They can put you in a box too.
Some did come forward. Some of them did come forward out of the community because they weren't part of the church. They were there just to do a job, so they did come forward and
Well,
report this.
that's
It was
good.
just too late.
I,
It was too late.
anyways, yeah. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
It is.
But if you have something to add, put it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And there is a documentary on Hulu about this whole story. So check it out because it's good.
All right.
Where'd she go?
What the hell? Now we're not letting you back in.
That
Where did you
was
go?
weird. Oh, we're still recording. And Karli says,
Blessed be. Have a good
thank
day.
you. Kick me
Bye.
out when I said it. Bye.
Oh, you think you got away?